What's happening, all you Minties? It is finally here, my haul for the month of September of 2022. Let's get started. Alright, so we got a lot of books to cover. Some of these I've already done an overview of, and I'll leave the link above whenever I'm talking about a particular book in case you missed it. But a lot of my pre-orders came in at the same time, so let's go ahead and get started. Here's The Yellow Cab. This is based on a novel by Benoit Cohen, and this is by Chabot. And this is published by, I believe it's Oni Press, or IDW rather. And it's a book that I've been wanting to check out. Know nothing about it, just based on the cover and based on his previous books that I've read by him. But I'm a big fan of his black and white art, and this, I believe, is the first time it's been translated in English, and IDW is the one that published this. It is a smaller scale book, so if you're looking at something like, let's see, Dark Knights Metal, or I'm sorry, Dark Knights of Steel, this is what it will look like. And it is a softcover, again, published by IDW. And this is the type of artwork that you're going to find in here. And I guess while I have this out, I might as well talk about it. And this is Tom Taylor's Dark Knights of Steel, a book I took with me. This is the hardcover. This is the one that I took with me when we went to New York Comic Con, and did not end up reading it because I was busy reading all the other books, and then I got sick. So this collects the first 6 issues of Dark Knights of Steel, but it's an alternate reality. Not labeled as an Elseworld, because they don't do that anymore, nor is it labeled as a Black Label line. So it's in the canon of DC. Holy crap, but look at that artwork, my gosh. I think this definitely would have benefited from an oversized hardcover format. But it's the Justice League or the DC characters reimagined as medieval characters. This is all written by Tom Taylor, and Yasmin Putrit is the artist on it. I think Ben Gal does some of the artwork in this particular volume too. It is a standard size hardcover, and it is also, the paper stock is this matte paper that they've been using for some of the deluxe editions and for their standard size hardcovers. Let's look at the extras all the way back here. This is where you're going to find the variant covers, and there's a lot of those in here. That's awesome. This book retails for $24.99. That's Dan Mora for sure. As a matter of fact, I thought Dan Mora was the artist on this for some reason. Not when I opened it up, but when I saw that this was solicited, I thought this was going to be drawn by Dan Mora. The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil. This is by Stephen Collins, and a book when I was doing my Hidden Gems, or books that made me cry, that somebody suggested, hey, you should definitely read this. I think it will be up your alley. So going into it completely blind, I did want to look at the artwork. I thought of Edward Gorey at first when I was looking at this type of art, but it looks like it's black and white. No idea what this is, if it's mature content or not, but I love going into these books completely blind, and this is based on what some of y'all have seen on my Hidden Gems that I do every month. Speaking of, I'll be working on that this week. But this is The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil. It is a hardcover, and it's published by Picador Books. No dust jacket, but just art on the board. And this is what the art looks like. Black and white. Looks like pencils, really. Alright, let's talk about some books that I, for some reason, missed out. Immortal Hulk, Great Power. So pretty much the one-shots that were not going to be collected in the Omnibus that I announced. This is written by Tom Taylor. As a matter of fact, you can see here who the powers that be are. Tom Taylor, Jeff Lemire, and David Vaughn and Declan Shalvey are the ones that did these one-shots collected in here. None of these are going to be collected in the Immortal Hulk Omnibus. That book is huge enough as is. So I figured, I didn't get a chance to read them. And this came out, I think, in maybe at the beginning of the years when this came out. But it's only available in trade paperback. It's not available as any of the oversized hardcovers and will not be part of the Omnibus. But it's the short stories that feature the character of Immortal Hulk during Al Ewing's time writing the character. See if there's any extras. No extras in the back. $15.99. And collects Great Power, The Threshing Place, Flatline, and then material from Time of Monsters. So, yeah, I love that cover. That is all. I think that's the Clan Shalvey, if I'm not mistaken. This is not for me. I actually got this because One of my viewers won one of our giveaways that we did for our 70,000, and she happens to be a huge fan of Harley Quinn. So when I saw this at New York Comic Con, nobody tell Barb, but I'm sending this along with Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1. Because she is a wonderful person that joins our live streams all the time on Saturdays for the Q&A. I just wanted to throw in an extra surprise in there. I almost kept this because of that cover. That's so pretty. And it's got a bunch of different creators in here. You have Amanda Conner, Jimmy Palmiotti, Paul Dini. Just reprinting a lot of these stories throughout the years. But I think there's an original story back here somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest Harley Quinn fan, nor have I been following her adventures when it was finished, when the oversized hardcover line was finished. But that is Harley Quinn 1, the 30th anniversary special. It's the variant cover by Stanley, Art Germ. Next up is House of Blood, Volume 1. I love that it says Volume 1. This is an anthology series. I just started reading this, actually, last night. This was sent to me by Zach Chapman, who is the publisher of the book, and he was thanking me for introducing him to so many new books on my channel, and he decided to send me a copy of his book that he put together with a bunch of different creators. It is a horror anthology, and you may see this sneak back up on Hidden Gems, because I started reading it and really enjoyed it, and hey, you know what? It's that season. It's that time of year. So I may sneak this in there. But that is House of Blood, Volume 1. I need to finish it. So speaking of Harley Quinn, I was showing that book off earlier. Here's Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Sirens Omnibus. I've done an overview of this already. If you want to check it out, just click the link above. It will take you to my overview and comparison of the original Omnibus to this new printing right here. And that is Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Sirens. It's time for the cow pile. And he sent me the Boston Metaphysical Society, Volumes 1 and 2, which also comes with this really cool coloring book. Pretty interesting. So this was a Kickstarter. Here, let's put the coloring book at the bottom, and let's look at Volume 1. This is signed by the creator. It also comes with a bunch of little extras right here. I love when they include this. Like, this is a really cool bookmark. This is a metal bookmark, and this right here is a magnet. But this was a Kickstarter, and now it's fully available from the author's web store, which I'll leave in the description of the video. Now, it does not come with the little trinkets that you see here, but it's the Metaphysical Society comic.square site. So it's a steampunk supernatural graphic novel. It's a prose series written and created by Madeline Holly Rosen, and it's based on this alternate reality America. So it started like a 6-issue graphic novel miniseries about the ex-Pinkerton detective, a spirit photographer, and a genius scientist who battle supernatural forces in the late 1800s. And does that not have you hooked already? I haven't read a steampunk book in a long time. I think I was waiting for the latest Lady Mechanica. That's how I was getting my steampunk kick. There for a while, man. It was just everywhere. So this is one of those stories that has come out in graphic novel format. There are also prose novels available of this particular world. So there's a few standalone trade paperbacks with additional stories that are all available. So if you're wondering where to get it, I will leave a link in the description of the video. Let's look at this right here. This is Volume 2. And these are the trade paperbacks. This is Madeline Holly Rosen. And then you have Art Win Tavares here. Here's the prologue. And the artwork looks like it varies between Volumes 1 and 2. I started reading this when he sent it to me last week, because I've been sick in bed. But I never got around to finishing Volume 1. And I need to finish Volume 2. But you can purchase these directly from her website. And he also sent me USA Assassins. I guess that's how you pronounce it. This is really cool. And he was kind enough to... I know on my giveaway, sometimes you'll see a book that Kyle sent that I give away, because he sent me the trade paperback version. So this is my copy. It's a hardcover. So this was originally published... this is the Ultimate Edition, apparently. It's US Assassins versus the Graveyard Shift. And it's by Mark Polton. This was an Indiegogo exclusive, and it's no longer available, but the author may have some copies left. And the hardcover collects the first 2 volumes of the series, plus additional artwork. Apparently there's going to be a Volume 3 and 4, if you're interested in that. It is a standard size hardcover, too. So, This is all about super agent Joe Knight, who takes a job with a private security firm. Artwork looks very 90s, honestly. I'm That's awesome. I've not even had a chance to open this one up until just now and read it. But it is a hardcover that's standard size, and there's some additional artwork in the back here. I assume there were covers. But that's what God bless, I'm going to get this right one day. US Assassin, I think that's how you say it, versus Graveyard Shift. Real American Ninja. I used to watch those movies. Has a G.I. Joe-like logo quality to it. He also sent me a copy of Oblivion Song Volume 3. This is the hardcover, the latest hardcover from Robert Kirkman. Lorenzo De Felici is the artist on this book right here. All about a group of scientists that have crossed over into another world. I believe I may have done a review of the first trade paper. I wasn't the biggest fan of this series when it first started, but then it started growing on me. I don't know what it is about Kirkman's writing. Sometimes I have a hard time getting into a series. Like, I never really got into The Walking Dead, but I read every single damn issue of The Walking Dead. And I read them as they were coming out. That was one of those books that I would pick up digitally, and I just had to read it because I didn't want it spoiled for me. I don't even know why. I know people love it, and no offense, because I do like his Invincible. I found Invincible really fun. But it seems like all the other books, like even Firepower, which people have told me gets better. So I am going to keep going on that journey. But Oblivion Song, it took me a while. I just didn't like the characters, and I think that was my issue with Walking Dead too. And I just ended up reading it because I did enjoy the premise of the book. So that's why I pushed myself to keep on going with it. But this is the third hardcover, so it's been released in trade paperbacks before. And this is from Skybound, collecting issues 25 through 36 of Oblivion Song. Now, this was a big surprise because he just sent this to me. He did not tell me where he found this. And when people send me these things, I don't even ask because I know better. This is a custom bound of XMen. This is the reunion era of XMen. So this is the stuff by Carlos Pacheco when he joined the team with Joe Kelly and then Mark Waid, introducing Maggot. So it's those missing issues that have never been collected in oversized hardcover format before, including the annuals. Chris Bachel also joins. That's right, with Steven Seagal. Not Steven Seagal, Steven Seagal. Weird. Oh, I did love the redesign of Jean Grey. So this stuff has not been available before. This is a custom omnibus. Glad that they kept the variant cover there. It's like this thick matte paper is what they're using here. But I assume he got this on eBay. I don't know. That's where I've seen custom omnis before. But this is X-Men Reunion Omnibus. One day I'm sure this will come out in official format. Not only did I do an overview of Batman Curse of the White Knight, again, link will be above. I did a review of the first White Knight Deluxe Edition. This is the Deluxe Edition of Batman Curse of the White Knight. But I also did an overview of Batman Road to No Man's Land. And you all know I love this story. It's one of my favorite Batman stories because I did my top 15 favorite Batman stories and where to find them in collected edition video. And this was up there. I think this month I may focus on Spider-Man or X-Men. We'll see. Maybe another Marvel character, and I'll go back and forth about my favorite stories and where to find them, because you all seem to really like that list. But again, leave the link above so you can watch that video in case you haven't seen it yet. I actually found my haul from Heroes Con months ago. When Melanie and I went to New York Comic Con, we opened up a backpack that had a couple of my books in it, including my absolute Green Lantern book. But this is Sirens of the North Sea. This is published by Humanoids. It was a book I wanted to read on the way home while Melanie drove, and I could not find it. And now here it is. It is an interesting choice, though, to make it a softcover. But it's like this hard softcover feel to it. Oh my gosh, and the artwork is just amazing. It's Humanoid, so, you expect a certain level of quality. I haven't gotten a chance to read it, but, obviously with mermaids here, and swords, and dragons, I assume this is all fantasy-based, and I just made up dragons. I don't know if there are any dragons in here, so forgive me, I have not had a chance to read it, but it looks absolutely stunning. Like, there's a dragon! Is that a worm or a dragon? I assume that's a dragon. But this is Sirens of the North Sea, and published by Humanoid, so this was originally translated from, I believe, the French, if I'm not mistaken. Oh man, no seals! Oh no! Sorry about that. I didn't know there were any little seals gonna get hurt, but I had to pick this up. It looks gorgeous. Another one of the books I found over there because it just reminds me of my kiddos. This is the giant size little A versus X Marvel. This stuff is not collected in the Omnibus, nor in the oversized hardcovers, and for some reason I didn't own it, even though my daughters and I are huge fans of Scotty Young and his artwork, and this was during the time of Avengers vs. X-Men, so this was like the one shot that he did, but this is oversized, and I believe it includes the, if I'm not mistaken, variant covers all the way here in the back. So I think this one was only $10, so I was like, oh yes, I'll have to get that, along with Sirens of the North Sea. This was a wonderful, wonderful project right here. This is Team Cul-de-sac, and the proceeds from this will benefit the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. So it's cartoonists draw the line at Parkinson's. I love this. This is by Chris Sparks, who, by the way, I didn't know until last day. I just randomly went up to the booth and I said, oh, that book looks interesting. I was flipping through it. I didn't even know it went for a good cause, so of course I was sold. But it turned out that he was the gentleman that ran or helps run the Heroes Con, the auction. That the benefit of that all goes towards the Parkinson's Foundation. So that was really cool. I should have put 2 and 2 together. I had talked to him through social media, but I didn't even see who wrote this or anything. I just immediately was drawn to it because of the different artists that are through here. And what a lot of people were doing, apparently, and I just waited till the very last minute to pick this up, were going from the convention floor from creator to creator to get an autograph by the creator. And some of them are even getting sketches by the creator's name. So I thought that was really cool. Had I known about that, it would have been a really fun, almost like scavenger hunt, because these places are so big, sometimes you have to look around for some of these creators. But I thought it was so cool that this is what they decided to do, and it benefits a good cause. So it's a hardcover, and I believe there is the teamculdesac.blogspot.com where you can pick this up if you want to help support it and end up with a really pretty book. And speaking of pretty book, I also picked up Dreams Factory. This is by Magnetic Press, and one that I've been looking forward to. No idea what this is. I just finally started reading some of my other Magnetic Press books that I've had for months. So hopefully by end of year I'll have read this one to talk a little more in depth about it. But the artwork in here, I mean, obviously, you know, it draws heavily from anime. I mean, you can tell. It's just gorgeous, though. The colors, the lighting that they're using. I don't know if this is based on a book series or not. For some reason, I want to say that this particular book is based on a prose novel. But I think that's all we will look at there. So it's based on an original story by Sueb Sako and Jerome Hamon, and written by Jerome Hamon. I wonder why his name is different there than there. And art by Sueb Sako. Okay, well, so maybe it's not based on a book series. But that is Dream Factory, printed by Magnetic Press, or published by Magnetic Press. Whoa, that's gorgeous. Now, at this time, if you're interested in some of these books, don't forget to check out our sponsor. If you live in Europe and are interested in buying and pre-ordering Omnis, then you should definitely check out Walts Comics shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC books within the EU, flat rate shipping of €12 for all EU countries, bulletproof packaging, and all emails will be answered within 24 hours. They offer a huge selection of out-of-print books. Just head over to waltzcomicshop.com for more great deals and rare titles. And for a limited time, you can use the code nearmintcon, all one word at the checkout, to get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over €40. Waltz Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. This was sent to us on our Saturday live stream. This is Janu, and it is self-published by Marcosia. And it is a prose/graphic novel. And I haven't had a chance to read it. It's really interesting, the paper that they're using for this. It's like a thin matte paper that they're using that I've seen in like almost like books for school. And maybe that was there's a reason why they decided to use that particular paper. But the artwork all looks like this. It's in black and white, and it's all self-published. And now that I have Taylor running our social media, I'm not sure who sent this to us, but I will make sure to find out. And if I find out where you can get it, I will make sure to put that in the link of the description of the video for sure. But this is Janu. I love that cover. It's gorgeous. All right, so this is another fun horror book that I opened up on Saturday. This is from Ross, WB, or just Ross. This is Dragon, which was a Kickstarter by Saladin Ahmed, and it is drawn by Dave Acosta. And it's supposed to be horror-centric. So Saladin Ahmed, of course, he's the writer on... Well, he was writing the Miles Morales series, which is now getting an omnibus, but he was also writing the Miss Marvel series. So that is... Maybe one day we'll get a second omnibus of that series, including his, and finishing out G. Willow Wilson. I assume this is Werewolves and Vampires. It looks really cool. Haven't started reading this one, so as of the recording of this video, of course I record these way before you all see them, so hopefully by the time you all watch them I'll have already read it, and you know, maybe you might see this sneak back up on our channel again. But this is only sold through his Kickstarter, apparently. And I remember when Wonder Maddie was telling me about this book, and this come with like, oh, that is beautiful dust jacket. And yeah, it's this gold foil Dragon Saladin Ahmed. That's awesome. Now, I did do an overview of both of these books. This is American Vampire Volume 1 and Volume 2. This is the newer printing. And I compared the newer printing to the original, I think 2018 printing of this book series. But just click the link above to check that out. I gotta give a shout out to Die and Breed Collectors for sending me a copy of this right here. This is Daredevil, Volume 1. Why did he send me this? Because when I announced Volume 2, he was like, you know, those Daredevils are gonna be hard to find now. And that's probably what's gonna happen. I think he still has some copies, Die and Breed Collectors. So this Volume 1 collects issues 1 through 43 of Daredevil. This stuff, of course, has been collected in Epic format as well, and Marvel Masterworks. Collecting Annual number 1 and Fantastic Four number 73. But, you know, showcasing his early appearances. And now we're getting a Volume 2 with beautiful Gene Colan artwork in there. Not that this doesn't. I mean, this does have the legendary Wally Woods art in here. So, I mean, it's not like this one doesn't have wonderful artwork in there. Now, there has not been an announcement, and I think I would know, about a reprint of this volume. But I'm sure when one will come, we'll have a new spine on it. So this does have the old spine, and this is the standard edition cover with Alex Ross on artwork there. But let's look at the extras here, because this is one that I used to have, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go the Epic route. But he was kind enough to send me a copy of this. So here's the extras. I haven't seen this book in so long. You have original pages. Oh, Bill Everett also doing some of the artwork. So yes, you have some wonderful talent in here. Here's some house ads. And Wally Wood right there. Or Wallace Wood, I'm sorry. Wallace Wood. Daredevil t-shirt right here in 1965. Can you imagine owning a Daredevil t-shirt in 65 by Jack Kirby? Romita's first Daredevil sketch right there. Plunder unused layouts by Jack Kirby. Like, who owns those and what do you do with them? There's some Gene Colan artwork. Gene Colan's art just stands out to me. You know, the older I get, the more I learn to appreciate his art. Just wonderful. And then you have the Marvel Masterworks when they were recoloring the trade paperback versions. And then, of course, in case you have just the direct market cover, there is the badass Daredevil cover by Alex Ross. But that wasn't the only thing he sent my way, because he said he wanted to watch a video of the comparison of Absolute Planetary with the Planetary Omnibus, because I was like, I don't have the Absolute Planetary or I would have made that video. So when he sent me this, he said, I don't have an excuse anymore. So, good call. So really, thank you to Die and Breed Collectors. This is completely unexpected and wonderful. So this is Absolute Planetary, written by Warren Ellis, so I know some people cannot separate the artist from the art, and I completely respect that. So if you have issues with that, then this is probably not for you. And for the people that can, or have just been a fan of this particular story, this is up there in my top 3 favorite Warren Ellis stories. It's just amazing what he's able to do with these characters. We've done an old reader, new reader on this, and this collects more. I may do, if you all want me to, a comparison between this and the Omnibus, because both are still available, just to see what the differences are. This is a big book. I'm serious. It is a big freaking Absolute edition. It's, oh my gosh. And I thought the design of the Omnibus was awesome, but there's hardly like any eye right there. And I cracked it open the other day just for this video, and I went ahead and stretched the spine out a couple times, and nope, it ain't giving in. maybe a few more times, maybe after a reread, but it's all John Cassidy too. John Cassidy does the artwork in here. And if you've not read it, it's a freaking awesome series. I love the design of the book too. Actual Planetary, like the feel of it. It's nice. I did an overview of the absolute. There's my leaflet right there of Absolute Doomsday Clock. Woo! Almost dropped it. If you want to check that, click on the link above. And I think that one went out last week, but they do a video on the Absolute Doomsday Clock. I mentioned this on my Saturday stream. I've had this book sitting at the bottom of a pile for no reason at all because I had it mistaken with another package. But this is Sky God's Day, and this was sent to me by the author who I interviewed on the channel when he was trying to get this book kickstarted. And I will leave a link in the description of the video if you want to purchase it. This is a gorgeous book. It's one of those European-sized books. It's all translated into English. But this is chapter 1. I think he wanted to do a total of 5 chapters. And this is the way it came out. There wasn't any single issues. I mean, it was digitally released, but the artwork is absolutely freaking stunning. And this is Sky God's Day. To kind of give you an idea of just how big this book is. Here it is compared to the size of a Marvel Omnibus. I mean, you can just tell how much bigger it is. Of course, not as thick, right? Because, I mean, Omnis are pretty big, but it's still a beautiful book. And this is the way that a lot of American writers and artists have kind of leaned towards going. Instead of doing single issues, there's a bookmark that comes with it. And that's really interesting because I think Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips are the big pushers for that. They've been doing it with Criminal. Actually, The World of Criminal has been a lot of those original graphic novels released in that route. And it's not like Marvel's no stranger to it. They're the ones that kicked off the Marvel graphic novel line. But I think it's really interesting. I want to see more and more of this stuff. You know, instead of doing single issues, going straight to something like this. Maybe do digital and then do this. But this is a gorgeous freaking book. And that is Sky God's Day. So I'll leave a link where you can purchase a copy of this. Last but not least is Green Lantern, Green Arrow. This is the Absolute Edition by the late Neil Adams. And it was just a book that I had been wanting to pick up for a while. And I don't know why I never did, because I had the Deluxe editions. Let's get that out of the way. And I never picked up the why didn't I get the Absolute? Sometimes, I don't know. But I found it at the convention. They had it there, and the Heroes Con was just special because that's why I was upset that I thought I lost this, because that's the convention that Neil Adams would frequent. That's the convention that a lot of writers and artists would see Neil, and they would all reunite, and it was something special to him. And for him not being there the first year, nor George Padas, it just felt emptier. And it was still wonderful. We had a great time, my wife and I did, and we did a coverage of it on our channel. But, I wanted something to own by him that I didn't have. I mean, we've lost a lot of wonderful talent this year. It's crazy. Neil Adams, George Padas, Tim Sell, just to name a few. Alan Grant, my gosh. Like, it's sad because this is like a big... And I know, I didn't grow up with this stuff. This was before my time. But to a lot of my viewers, this was their childhood. My buddy Jess, this was his Green Lantern, Green Arrow. So this collects Green Lantern 76 through 87 in issue number 89. And then, of course, the backup stories of Flash 217 to 219 and 226. So, again, this has been collected in deluxe editions before, trade paperbacks. But, holy hell, it was time to upgrade. I needed to own these wonderful stories of not just Neil Adams. I'm sorry, I'm just crediting Neil Adams. But Dennis O'Neil was also there. He played a part in this, too. I'm not sure about the extras because I did not own this one. This is the new colors right here in the back. You can tell the difference in the new colors compared to the original colors that they used here. Or I guess as closest to the original colors as you're going to get. But let's see here. Here's the cover gallery in 1983. Over a decade after Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams completed their legendary run on Green Lantern, the entire story was recollected in 7-issue limited series. These are the original covers by Neil Adams for that series, which they used for the cover to this. Pretty cool. But these are covers for that, reprinting the classic storyline. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of them, and then the biographies here. But that's it. That's my haul. That, as they say, is that. If you live in America, don't forget to check out our sponsor here. This episode is brought to you by cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was my haul for the month of September of 2022. Let me know in the comments down below what you picked up, what you are picking up in October. I used to try to do this at the beginning of the month, but I had so many pre-orders come in at the same time, so that's why I had to wait this long. But anyway, I would love to know what you picked up, what you're excited about. If there are any of these books that you want me to do a big in-depth review of, let me know in the comments down below. Everyone who sent me something, thank you all so much, seriously. And this time I just want to remind you all that I do appreciate every single one of you all that have been watching my videos for so many years, watching my haul videos, and then so many people have emailed me and messaged me through social media telling them I inspired them to make their own channel, to do their own haul videos. And I love that because everybody has a variety of different hauls that they do. So thank you all. Wouldn't be here without you all. Everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love. Well, I guess I wouldn't be here without my parents either. So I should thank them first. Yeah, stay safe.